revolutionizing financial services through digital transformation, trends, advantage, and challenges. By Mr. Yogesh Mittal, CFO at JBM Group. Mr. Yogesh Mittal is graduate from the Pune University, Symbiosis College, and Indian Chartered Accountant. In a career spanning more than a decade, he has worked with organizations like PwC, KPMG from consulting sides in India. We are where he was an advisor to several international clients on the business and tax subjects. He has held key leadership roles in finance vertical in companies such as Indigo Airlines, Renew Power from the industry sides. He majors in taxation profile and he is currently the CFO and lead strategy for JBM Environment Business Project. Everyone, please give a big round of applause for Mr. Yogesh Mittal.
Hi everyone, it's good afternoon. So thanks for the opportunity to share some points of view with all of you here. And my name is Yogesh Mittal and I'm here to discuss and present to you some points relating to digital transformation of finance vertical. So a lot of us from the finance and digital and work from home restrictions, digital payments and companies like Paytms becoming increasingly a part of our lives and accounting and finance world and several other things. Have compelled us, have made us, grow further from the SAP and Oracles and all the ERP and accounting systems that we have been using. And today it's at a stage where let's look at some of the trends globally, not only in India, globally. CFOs, at least 73% in the survey results, have agreed that digitalization of finance is a utmost priority. This calls for a complete system change, a complete change from the conventional systems and reimagining a completely new world in which we are in all of a sudden. And one can imagine the amount of impact which this concept has today, and I'm sure all of us have been involved and been deeply impacted by it. So here's a look at what actually do we really mean by digitalization. Although we know it, but let's get the concept once. See, this is about reorganizing and reshaping the finance and accounting functions. This is not about replacement of existing processes. So the vouchers, the whole audit trail, the internal controls, the accounting system, the monitoring system, the reporting system, all those procedures and processes, it's not about replacing all of them. It's about making changes in each of these functions and making it more and more real-time basis and having a deeper and more efficient impact with the business processes. So this is not about replacement, this is about changing and revamping the system in a little way. Of course, when we discuss the digitalization of finance, we come across several challenges. Here I'd like to enumerate a few. The legacy systems, there is generally a constraint, a sort of a discomfort from changing the existing practices or any activity to a new one. So the restraint shown by legacy systems in adopting and going to the new systems is certainly one key constraint we might face. We will also discuss that how CFOs and people from the finance world itself are facing some of these constraints and how they come in, how it comes in the way of actually making a very proper move in the subsequent slides. But yeah, legacy systems. Security and compliance. See, with digitalization and the emergence, We all are aware of the record digital payments India records during Diwali and so many other things. And right from a panwala to the biggest corporates have been using Paytms and so many other things, where the conventional payment methods, the conventional business methods have undergone a complete change. But with these new developments of digitalization, one word which has become very much a part of our life is cybersecurity. And coming across instances where a banker, employee in the bank opened up a file which was received on the email, and the whole information of the bank was shared with him. The information of aims, for instance, in the public domain, these all are instances where there are attacks, and therefore the cyber security in the world of digitalization is of a tremendous importance. While our systems are going to be moving from actual records to more and more digital solutions, the security is certainly going to be a concern. We do have solutions, and we have more emerging solutions around it, but this certainly is a concern and idea to be resolved, talking about digitalization. Customer expectations, from a banking and NBFC standpoint, it is a must. The customers sometimes tend to use a certain platform, and the business enterprise need to ensure that it is in parity with those expectations and requirements. Workplace culture and reskilling the workforce. So the organizations having a certain number of employees working there for a certain number of years, to tell them that from tomorrow onwards they'll be required to use a certain software. And in my limited experience, it is the biggest task to make people go from the conventional systems to a software or a new system. So reskilling them and making them completely adapt to it is a slow process. It does take time, and one of the biggest challenges that as people of finance world and digitalization format that we would face. Competition. There are, along with the package solutions which we can get from the different banks, the companies like Amazon, Google, so many other ones are offering their different products. Which one to choose, which one to adopt in certain kind of requirements. There cannot be one solution which can be applied, so one has to look at multiple of those. So these are some of the things which come across moving towards the field of digitalization in finance. I need not stress on it, just a little overview with why this pain, why is digitalization of so much of interest, and with the constraints also. If you talk to most of the finance heads and CFOs and people from finance world, they all want to move towards it. Certainly for data management, ensuring better compliances, agile processes, time and cost saving, and increasing the operational efficiency. How does this particular thing happens? I'll have one or two instances to share with you. But this certainly is worth the effort, and despite the challenges and so many constraints that we face, we'll continue to progress on the journey of digitalization, I'm sure. In my experience, till the time the approach in digitalization is of re-engineering. It is about standardization and simplification of the process. It's only solving a part of the problem. It's about reimagination. It's about all of a sudden getting up one particular day and realizing that there'll not be an office today. Everybody's in a team of, let's say, from 10 people to 1,000 people are scattered all over in their respective homes, and they'll have to meet over the MS Teams or Google or whatever, and this is how the interactions will happen, this is how the approvals will happen, this is how payments will happen, this is how business will happen. It calls for no level of standardization or re-engineering. The kind of requirements that we've been exposed to in the last couple of years call for a clear reimagination of the process. And the new world in which we are operating in, because of the compulsions and so many other reasons, with the approach of reimagination, the journey of digitalization will tend to be better and more efficient in my view. This is again a result of a survey I would like to share with you. This is the top priorities identified by the finance verticals in the finance world all over the world of the functions where they're trying to bring digitalization. Clearly, the first one is MIS. When the CEO or somebody higher up in the leadership is asking for the information, Most of the stress-causing remarks are that information is never available on time and all of that. So understandably, digitalization and making sure the information reach to the management is the topmost priority of the CFO, and understandably that's a number one priority. Then comes repeated day-to-day transactions, accounting, several payments, etc. Financial statements closing process, be it on a monthly basis, quarterly, yearly, whichever basis. Uh, there are a few things which I would like to specifically highlight. See, budgeting and planning is coming at the number 4. And more importantly, look at the tax compliances and internal controls. These are way down the order right now. And if we as individuals identify our respective companies with this survey and these results, I think an important takeaway is really to take all of these practices right up in the order of digitalization and not only just leave it with the MIS and financial statements. It's more towards efficiency and business processes than the financial statements and MIS. Some imperatives I would like to share with you from my experience. See, in digitalization, when we talk about, it calls for a connected finance function. No longer the procedure, no longer the times when the information, the vouchers used to be prepared, sent out in the form of a file, and the accountants would do entries and the CFO would do analysis of that. We are expected to perform a deeper, more efficient role in the business processes. It's the time to therefore break the silos. No longer that finance will be aloof from the business. We have to partner with the business, we have to be engaged with the business and right be with them. We have to create a sort of a handshake, a common working platform with the different business processes, be it sales and marketing, be it production, be it any other form of activity which is happening in the business. Finance need to be present there. Unless this is done, the real-time information and efficiency in the digitalization will not be there, and the process, despite going on the digital world, will not be efficient. It also will lead to having shared finance KPIs. So no longer how many payments I'm going to make in a day or by what time I'm going to present my financials. It will also be that how efficiently is finance able to capture the related business data and share it with the business, which helps them take decisions. So the KPIs of finance function will also change with this approach. Real-time operations, so not anything significant here. The real-time information, so whenever MIS is asked, tell me the status of the debtors and creditors, how many invoices are still not paid by the accounts team, all those kind of questions can be answered flash of a button, click of a button, and we must move towards more and more of this. It also means that if the chief accountant or the concerned person of the team is not available because of holidays for a week, it doesn't mean that the information will have to wait for so long. The CF or anyone on the system can pull out the necessary data. So the real-time activities to be promoted. Automation. We all are using the words and being increasingly aware of the concepts of machine learning, artificial intelligence. Often a question is asked, will the team of accountants be replaced by a team of robots going forward? And I'm sure every CFO has a different answer to that to his team. But yes, increasing use of technology to automate these processes and ensuring that sometimes where maybe physical signatures are required, etc. But to the extent the automation can be done, it will save a lot of time, a lot of effort, and to be promoted that way. Zero touch processes. So this is again moving towards building up the intelligent system with rule-based decision making. I can quote a few examples. Maybe I come from power industry and usage of certain software which was only accessible to the business enterprises till yesterday basis are increasingly being used by the accountants and the team to ensure that the key parameters are examined and checked. So there's a double level of checking with the business related information. It does cause some ruckus in the system, but the efficiency tends to be more because to the MIS team, to the FP&A team, to the accounting team, and to the business team, the information is reaching out in the right way. So maybe a decision-making tool. And bringing more and more practices within the ambit of digitalization. We saw that till date, despite recognizing that this is a major area of concern and priority, we have only seen a limited number of activities of finance function which are more centric around MIS and financial statement preparation. Those are the ones which are getting covered, but it's time for us to enhance the ambit and bring more number of processes into it. So I don't think I'll discuss more. It's just a touch upon that how's the rear view been, and it has changed some of the trends in the financial services as well, the fintech, digital banking, disruptors, and more usage of blockchain technology, which generally we use with concepts of Bitcoin, etc. But it's been used more and more. This is a slide of the key takeaways. Now, how the future going to look like, how the past has been, how the present has been if we were to continue to do the way we are. See, the transactions are surely going to be touchless. It'll not have those heavy detailing of documents, vouchers, and things prepared. It is going to be light, it's going to be digital, it will be automated. Yes, this is going to come our way. The role of finance. Finance will double down on business insights and service. No longer just a preparation of financials. No longer just doing the variance analysis. Sharing intelligence with business. Identifying the parameters with business and monitoring those, make it more relevant so that a consolidated effort can be done towards it. Finance cycles, it goes real time, no longer waiting times of long hours for various reasons. Self-service. So even if the accountant or the team is not available and somebody has the access to the data system, at the end of the day, it is possible for a business, for different stakeholders to get the real-time information, and finance will be uneasy about it. Because no matter how well we design our systems, in a digital world, anyone pulling out the information and interpreting it in a different way is something a risk, at least for the initial part, that most of the organizations in the finance world will be exposed to. However, a lot of self-service will go into it. Operating models, new delivery models will emerge. Robos and all of these things, no longer requirements of working on the PCs or laptops, even the phones, and most of the times access to approval processes, payments, and all these gateways are available. So just a touch phone is enough for us to operate the whole finance function. Enterprise resource planning comes the time of SAP and Oracle, and we have already in the last couple of years moved to advanced versions, MIS, and more digitalization is coming into it. The data, and company will be struggling to clean up the messes. Not only the vital information is going to be prepared, but a lot of waste data will also be there, and it becomes certainly a problem to deal with. Let's be aware of that. Workforce and workplace, as we said during the COVID times, even now most of the things are happening work from home. So a very different kind of a workplace which emerged. And in terms of workforce, yes, with some level of restraint towards adapting towards new technology, with the digitalization, slowly and gradually, the anxiety of the workforce and the better training and other resources will be available, and it'll be possible to absorb digitalization and its impact in a more efficient manner. So these were some of the insights I wanted to share with the whole gathering. Thanks very much for listening in, and I'll be happy if anyone has a remark or a question to address. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Requesting you to please be with us on the stage. Everyone, can we have a big round of applause for such an amazing session? Thank you so much. I would now like to request Ms. Sunena Vij, VP, Head of Finance Asia, to please be on the stage and felicitate. Everybody, can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Yogesh Mittal?